This is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance, and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Monday the 23rd of August. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against US dollar, it's been a mixed start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 48,947 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 49,807. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Bitcoin to break out from 49,500 levels. So barring an extended rally on, they expect that first major resistance level, resistance at 50,000 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin target the 23.6% fib at 54.73. Second major resistance level sits at 53.49. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 48.405 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should still work well clear of sub 47,500 levels. Second major support level at 47,515 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, widening of the bullish histograms through the morning turn of the day, supporting this early upside. So keep an eye out for a further widening there to support further gains. On the EMAs, the 50s also pulled away marginally from the 100 and the 200, supporting further upside ahead. So key would be to avoid the pivot at 48,947, break back through to 49,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels will come into play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, also a mixed start to the day. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 3215 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 3301. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ethereum to break back through to 3300 levels. However, so barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum target the 23.6% fib at 3369 before any pullback. Second major resistance level is 3361. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level of 3155 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should still well clear of sub 3000 levels. Second major support level at 3069 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, widening of the bullish histograms after yesterday's late bullish cross. That's supporting some early upside. On the EMAs, 50s also pulling away from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further upside ahead, so keep an eye on that for direction. So key would be to avoid the pivot at 3215 and break back through to 3250 levels to then bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Litecoin against US dollar, also a mixed start to the day. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 185 to take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 191. Support from the broader market will be needed to break out from yesterday's high that was at 189.81. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Litecoin target 200 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 195. Fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 181 and the 23.6% fib at 178 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid the second major support level at 175. Looking at MACDs, widening of the bullish histogram after late bullish cross. That's supporting upside at the start of the day, so look out for any further widening there. On the EMAs, the 50s holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, so any widening of the 50 from the 100 and 200 would support further upside ahead. So key would be to avoid a fallback through the pivot at 185 and break through yesterday's high at 189.81 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, also a mixed morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 1.2215 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 1.2630. Support will be needed for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 1.25 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP target 1.3 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level is at 1.2986. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 1.1859 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 1.5 levels. Second major support level sits at 1.1444. Looking at the MACDs, we had a late bullish cross and a widening of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day, so keep an eye on that through the early part of the morning. On the EMAs, the 50s flattened on the 100 and the 200 after the narrowing through yesterday afternoon, so keep an eye on that, a widening from the 100 would support further upside through the morning. So key would be to avoid the pivot at 1.2215, break back through to 1.25 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels will come into play.